In this lecture, we are going to discuss traverse and traverse computation. So, after the completion of this chapter, you should be able to explain the fundamental concepts of traversing, including the purpose and methods of traverse surveys in civil engineering projects. You should also be able to gain proficiency in calculating angles, distances, and coordinates using traverse data, and develop the ability to analyze traverse data to create accurate site plans and maps. So, ano ba yung traverse? So, yung traverse is a succession of straight lines along or through the area to be surveyed. The directions and lengths of these lines are determined by measurements taken in the field. So, a traverse is currently the most common of several possible methods for establishing a series or network of monuments with known positions on the ground. Such monuments are referred to as horizontal control points, and collectively they comprise the horizontal control for the project. Traversing is a process of measuring the length and direction of the lines of a traverse for the purpose of locating the position of certain points. Traverse station is any temporary or permanent point of reference over which the instrument is set up. It is usually marked by a peg or a hub-driven flush with the ground and identified by consecutive letters or numbers as the survey progresses. So traverse lines are lines connecting traverse stations whose lengths and directions are determined. So, ito yung madalas natin nakikita sa mga titulo ng lupa. So, may lot description na tinatawag doon. So, kapag titulo ng lupa, usually, ang ginagamit nila is numbers. So, kapag numbers, for example, is ito yung 1, ito yung 2, 3, 4, etc. hanggang, in this case, 6. So, parang meron silang listahan doon. May line, nakalagay dyan, 1, 2, 2, 3. And then, meron siyang description nga, sabi nga doon, na yun ay meron description ng length and meron description ng direction. In our case, madalas natin ginagamit is bearing. So, this is beta, shortcut ko for bearing. So, halimbawa, line, in our case, dito sa drawing natin ngayon, is letters yung gagamitin natin para hindi nakakalito sa calculations. Line AB, line BC, line CD, etc. And then, bawat line sa kanila, di ba, bawat point natin, station A, station B, station C, meron tayong mga length. From A to B, meron tayong distance 1. And then, from B to C, meron tayong distance 2. And so on and so forth. And then, sa station na yun, dahil yan ay tagpuan ng usually dalawang lines, meron siyang included angle. Or at least, bawat line sa kanila is meron tayong bearing. So, in this case, itong AB natin, siya ay north, some value ng angle na to, west. Then, from B to C, that is north, some value of angle, east. C to D, that is southeast, and so on, southeast, etc., etc. So, meron tayong measure dito ng bearing natin. So, nilalagay natin yan dito. And then, meron na tayong description nung ating usually lot area natin. And then, based doon tayo nagde-decide kung saan natin ilalagay yung mga structures or kung ano yung mga maximum na ilalagay nating structures sa kung magkaka-project halimbawa. Kasi diba, lupa nga yan. So, yun yung traverse. So, there are several kind of traverse. So, we have closed traverse. Ito yung the lines that turn to the starting point. So, for this example, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then A ulit. Bumalik siya doon. Thus, forming a closed figure. It provides checks on the observed angles and distances, and ginagamit siya in control, construction, property, and topographic survey. Ito yung pinaka-common natin ginagawa. There are also yung tinatawag nating open traverse, a series of lines that are connected but do not return to the starting point or close upon a point of equal or greater order accuracy. So, should be avoided because they offer no means of checking for observational errors and mistakes. So, simply, halimbawa, nag-station ka lang A dito, tapos B, and then C, tapos may dalawa kang ibang control points na kinuha, D and E, and so on. So, open lang siya. Hindi bumalik dito kay A, tapos nagkaroon pa ng extra branch. So, dito, hindi natin siya ma-check, hindi natin ma-make sure yung accuracy ng mga measurements or at least ma-adjust or mako-correct unlike dun sa ating closed traverse. Kaya, iniiwasan natin siya. So, madalas natin ginagamit is yung ating closed traverse. So, ayan, meron tayong ilang sources of error in traversing. So, number 1, poor selection of stations resulting in bad sighting conditions caused by alternate sun and shadow, visibility of only the rod stop, line of sight passing too close to the ground, lines that are too short, sighting into the sun. So, depende sa situation nung lot or nung area. Another is errors in observation of angles and distances. So, there are cases talaga na magkakamali tayo ng tingin dun sa ating instrument. So, error na sa traverse natin yon. And then, failure to observe angles an equal number of times, direct and reverse. So, there are several times nga, di ba? First lesson natin, the MPV, the most probable value, nang ginagawa natin is nire-repeat natin yung mga measurement to minimize the error. So, kapag nag-fail tayo na bawa sa isang station, 2 beses natin chinek. Yung direct and then yung reverse. And then sa pangatlo is 4 nating beses chinek. Direct, reverse, direct, reverse. The rest is 4 na. So siguro may kaunting epekto din yung hindi natin equal yung observation doon sa pagme-measure. Thus, nagkakaroon siya or nagpapagmulan siya ng errors. Then, syempre, meron din tayong mistakes. Occupying or sighting on the wrong station. Halimbawa, na-miss nyo yung isang point from A or from C, ang nakita nyo agad is E, hindi nyo na yung D, so nawawala na yung data natin sa D. Incorrect orientation, confusing angles to the right and left. So kapag iba-iba yung ginamit, di ba meron tayong iba't ibang ways to measure yung sa polygon natin. Halimbawa, meron tayong interior angle traverse, meron tayong deflection angle, meron tayong angles to the right, meron tayong angles to the left. So kapag paiba-iba yung ginawa natin, there's a highly probability na magkaroon ng mistakes. Mistakes in note-taking kapag nagkamali ng sulat and misidentification of the sighted station. So similar siya dun sa occupying or sighting on the wrong station. So nagkakamali tayo ng nasisilip na station. So, meron tayong, kanina ito yung kinds of traverse. Meron naman tayo ngayong traverse type. So, ito nga yung sinasabi ko, na there are several methods sa pag-measure or parang pag-determine lang ng traverse. So, we have interior angle traverse. Meron din tayong, so hindi na nabanggit, pero meron din tayong deflection angle, meron din tayong angles to the right and then angles to the left. So again, kapag interior angle traverse, mini-measure natin yung interior angle ng ating polygon and then ginagamit natin yun para ma-determine yung bearing ng bawat isang line. So ito, this direct example na lang agad natin. So, the interior angles of a 5-sided closed traverse were measured as shown in the figure. If all observed angles are assumed to be correct, determine the interior angle at C. So also determine the bearing of each line if the bearing of line AB is north 15 degrees 30 minutes east. Tabulate values accordingly. So ito yung typical problem natin ito yung basic problem natin sa traverse. So given tayo ng interior angle, ang gusto nating makuha or ma-determine is yun nga, determine the bearing of each line if the bearing of line AB is given. So, given tayo dito ng north, 15 degrees, 30 minutes east. And then, itatabulate natin dun sa sinabi kong format. So, we have the column for line. So, we have line AB, BC, CD, DE, and EA. And then, we have the bearing. So, bearing. So, ang bearing natin, si AB, given na daw tayo, north 15 degrees, 30 minutes, east. So, using that, and then itong interior angles natin, kailangan natin i-figure out yung bearing ng bawat line. Yung line BC, CD, DE, and EA. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin? So, first, we need to determine muna, based din dito sa problem, the interior angle at C. So, itong interior angle na to. So, we can do that by knowing that the total internal angle of a closed polygon is equal to n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees. So, where n is the number of sides of the polygon. So, in our case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, that is a 5 minus 2 times 180. So, 3. So, total internal angle ng ating pentagon is 540 degrees. So, using that, we can figure out yung theta C na 540 degrees is equals to the summation of all the interior angles, including the unknown theta C, which will give us 50 degrees and 57 minutes. So, with the complete data, pwede natin i-proceed yung sa computation. So, ito nga yung tabulation na kailangan natin gawin. And then, paano natin siya sisimulan? So, basically, parang nga tayong gagawa ng free body diagram. Isa-separate natin yung isang station since alam na natin si AB. Balik tayo dito. Alam na natin to. Pwede na tayong magsimula dito kay B. So, basically, kukuhain natin tong station B natin. Tingnan natin yung mga drawing niya or yung at least yung mga lines na nakonekta sa kanya. So, ideally, i-approximate na natin yung mga correct position. So, for example, yung AB natin, that is north, 15 degrees, 30 minutes east. So, kung mula na tayo kay station B, dahil pababa na tayo pa ganun, ano na siya, yung reverse na. So, south, 15 degrees, 30 minutes west. And then, si BC, or si angle natin sa B, theta B, 95 degrees, 33 minutes. So, eto siya, di ba? And then, kailangan natin i-figure out is yung bearing nung BC. So, yung line BC natin. And then, since yung line natin is malapit siya dito sa may south meridian, ito yung kailangan natin ma-figure out. So, kita na agad natin sa ating drawing na para ma-compute natin to, pwede nating i-equate yung total angle, ng interior angle, sa sum nung theta nung BC or yung bearing nung BC sa bearing nung AB. So, yun yung gagawin natin. So, we can formulate the equation, theta C is equals to bearing nung AB plus bearing nung BC. And then, substitute lang natin, 95 degrees 33 minutes, 15 degrees 30 minutes, plus yung unknown, which will give us 80 degrees 3 minutes. So, usually, ideally, syempre, diba, ang ating mga interior, yung mga ating bearings is acute angle nga siya. So, the acute angle results shows that our assumption of its position is correct. So, kasi halimbawa, nakalagay lang na 95 degrees yan, tapos halimbawa na drawing nyo dito, diba? Yung computation nyo, ito pa rin yung lalabas, yung 80 degrees. Itong 80 degrees, 3 minutes. Pero magtataka kayo, bakit hindi man siya pwedeng lumampas doon kasi 90 degrees na tong isang quadrant na to. So, i-redraw nyo siya and then ilalagay nyo dito yung drawing nyo. So, ideally nga is na-approximate na natin yung position niya based sa given natin. So, kung hindi naman, kung lumampas naman halimbawa siya dyan, ibig sabihin lang, i-move natin yung data natin dito sa taas, magiging north something, and then i-adjust na lang natin. So, nagkamali lang halimbawa kayo sa data. So, dapat, again, ang sagot natin is usually or laging acute angle, especially kung bearing yung pinag-uusapan natin. And then, since tama yung position natin dito, alam natin na nandito siya sa south, east, pwede na natin ilagay siya na south, 80 degrees, 3 minutes, east. And then, continue lang tayo ng similar solutions. Focus naman tayo kay station C. So, station C naman, ito yung na-compute natin sa calculation natin, 50 degrees, 57 minutes. Meron tayong given from BC, di ba? Yung south 80 degrees, 80 degrees, 3 minutes. So, mapupunta lang naman siya dito. Magiging north, 80 degrees, 3 minutes west. And then, ayan, kita nyo na agad kung paano natin siya gagawing equation. Since this entire semicircle is 180 degrees, equate natin siya doon sa sum nitong tatlo, including this unknown bearing nung ating third line, CD. So, ayun, 180 degrees is equals to the bearing of BC plus the interior angle at C plus the bearing of CD. So, BC, interior angle, and then CD. And then, it will give us an exact value of 49 degrees. So, since acute angle, okay na tayo doon, 49. Then, since tama yung position niya, so southwest, ilagay na natin siya doon sa ating table. So, south 49 degrees, 0 minutes west. And then yun na, continue lang repeating this method. Magbibigay tayo ng mga final answer natin dito na 85 degrees, 10 minutes, and then 46 degrees, 0 minutes west. And then, pag na-complete na natin si EA, one way to check your answer is to use, ito yung kagandahan kapag close traverse. So, kapag ganyan is using traverse station A, kukompute natin yung i-check lang natin. Nasa yung drawing natin, balik lang tayo saglit. Balik lang tayo dito and then magagawa lang tayo ng panibagong parang free body diagram kay A. So, halimbawa, alam natin to na 15 degrees, 30 minutes. Tapos, alam natin yung interior angle na 118, 30 minutes. So, ito malalaman natin na ang value dito is 180 degrees minus itong dalawang to, 15, 118. And then, kapag compute natin yan, dapat equal siya doon sa nakuha natin kay EA. So, si AE is dapat equal kay EA. So, tingnan natin. And then, ayan. So, luckily naman, tama siya. So, try natin yan. 180 minus 15.5 minus 118.5. So, 46. So, dahil tulad naman siyang 46, so, tama. So, it satisfies na masasabi natin na correct. And then, ayun nga, kung napapansin nyo yung paglipat natin from A to B, north 15 degrees, 30 minutes siya. And then from B to A, tawag natin dun back bearing, south 15 degrees, 30 minutes west. So, nag-opposite lang yung ating pinaka-direction. Kasi nag-iba yung ating parang perspective. Nag-iba yung reference point natin, kaya naiba yung direction natin. So, yun yung isa sa basic, yun yung pinaka-basic na calculation natin sa traverse. So, given tayo again ng interior angles, makakompute natin yung bearing or yung bearing ng ating lines, yung ating traverse. Ngayon, meron din naman tayong cases syempre kapag realistic yung data natin. There is mistakes or errors na nangyayari. So, because no measurement is perfect, it is most unlikely that the raw traverse data will close exactly. So, close, ibig sabihin, hindi siya magdidikit, hindi babagsak dun sa sinumulan yung ating survey. So, this means, for example, that the given or assumed coordinates of the starting point in a loop traverse will not be precisely the same as the position or coordinates of that point as computed from the raw field data. So, for this example, nagsimula tayo dito kay A, tapos nag-survey tayo, sinukat natin using our transit. And then, nung dinrawing natin, pagbagsak ni EA, dito siya. Meron siyang, yung A mo dapat dito na ulit sa ating A mismo, dapat dito na siya. Pero nung dinrawing mo, nung nag-AutoCAD ka, dito lang siya dumikit. Meron tayong distance na error. So, ang tawag doon is error of closure. So, A is the coordinates given or assumed, and then A prime, ito, is the coordinates computed from field data. So, kapag pinlap na natin siya, may distance or may hindi sakto. So, error of closure in a loop traverse starting at the station A, following the measured distances and angles around the traverse. You would be unlikely to wind up exactly on point A again. Again, usually, ito is realistic talaga. Laging merong error kahit gano'ng kaliit. So, kailangan natin siyang i-solve, di ba? Kailangan natin alisin yung error. If the discrepancy or error of closure exceeds some specified or acceptable limit, the field measurement will have to be repeated. So, ayun, di ba? May acceptable precision tayo na kinakailangan. Ngayon, kung acceptable naman, it is then necessary to adjust. So, adjust. Ito yung isa sa mga main na ginagawa natin sa traverse. Adjusting the traverse. So, so it closes perfectly with complete geometric consistency, kagaya nung first example natin. For example, the field data would be adjusted so that the traverse closes and position A prime is equals to the position A. So this process of adjusting or closing the traverse ensures that the station coordinates will be as as accurate as possible. Traverse adjustment is also important for land or boundary surveys because legal descriptions of property must have no geometric inconsistency. Dapat laging sakto yung ating, di ba? Ang weird naman kung mayroong distance na ganun na hindi sakto dun sa ating lote. So, kakaroon ng problema. So, ang ginagawa natin sa pag-adjust is ina-assume natin tama yung isang line. So, usually yung first line na ginamit natin. And then, lahat ng line natin i-adjust natin. So, meron tayong iba't ibang method. So, traverse adjustment tayo. So, the computations for adjusting and closing a traverse can be summarized in 6 basic steps as follows. Number 1 is to compute the angular error and adjust the angles. So, makakompute natin yung remember the first one sa traverse, yung ating balik tayo saglit. Ito. For example, syempre magsa-survey tayo, bakit hindi mo pa isa-survey itong interior angle dito? So usually isa-survey natin lahat ng interior angle, and then kapag kinompute natin, equate natin sa 540 in this case, meron tayong error. So remember again yung ating most probable value, bumabalik lang tayo dun sa topic na yon. So, i-adjust natin yung mga interior angles. Once na na-compute na natin interior angles, balik doon na tayo sa pangalawa. So, compute the course bearings or azimuth. So, tayo, yung bearings yung ginagawa natin. Ito yung pinaka-nakasanayan. Azimuths, maganda siya, especially kung gagamit tayo ng mga spreadsheets, kasi mas madali siyang i-compute kaysa dito kay bearing na kailangan mo pang i-take into consideration yung direction ng line or nung north, west, south, east natin. Kailangan nyo pang i-consider sa bearing yon sa calculation, so dagdag computation. Unlike kay azimuths na halos direct na kasi isa lang yung reference point. And then number 3, ko-compute yung course latitude and departures. Didiscuss natin yan later. And then determine the error of closure and accuracy. So, and then meron din tayo nun. And then kung acceptable, move to step 5, adjust the course. This is kung acceptable. Kasi kung unacceptable, ulitin natin yung experiment. Or pwede rin naman. Yan. Compute the corrected length and bearing. So, babalik lang tayo dun sa final correction natin or yung adjusted length and bearing natin. So, in addition to these steps, a boundary traverse would include computation of the enclosed area. So, ito is later on topic pa natin, separate topic. So, area computation as well as the computation of the final bearings and length of the courses that result from the adjustment of the traverse. The area as well as the final boundary lengths and directions is needed for a legal property description. So, this next figure illustrates a sketch of a loop traverse along with the raw or adjusted field data. A sketch of a traverse should always be drawn as a guide to computation, showing the names of each traverse stations. Excuse me. If it is plotted to scale, it can serve as a visual check against major blunders in a survey. So, ito yung try natin. So, given tayo ng mga interior angle, nag-measure tayo ng interior angle, and then mineasure din natin, for example, ng tape or ng stadia, interval, or yung stadia theory natin sa distances natin. And then given tayo ng isang known na bearing. So again, ideally meron tayong isang known na bearing. So gawin lang natin yung 6 steps using this data. So number 1, compute the angular error and adjust the angles. So kuhain lang natin yung lahat ng interior angle natin, field angles yung nilagay. So for station A, that is 64, 53, 30. Ito yun. Station B, 206, 35, 15. Station C, 64, 21, 15. And then and so on and so forth. And then i-add natin, di ba? Most probable value. Mas makikita natin, solve natin total angular error, difference niya dun sa known na interior angle niya, di ba? That is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sided. So alam natin na 540 degrees yung total interior angle, which will give us an error of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So gawin natin, distribute natin yung error na yon dahil labi siya ng 2 minutes 30 degrees. Hatiin natin sa 5 interior angle. Para bawat angle is magkakaroon ng correction na 30 seconds. So, ito is just discussing about the precision na ginagamit natin kapag sa survey. So, ayan. So, correction natin, meron tayong minus 30 degrees or 30 seconds, which will give us the following adjusted angles. And then to check, i-add lang natin, di ba? Add natin, and then make sure na 540 degrees pa rin yung ating final sum. So, okay na tayo doon. Na-adjust na natin na-compute na natin yung angular error, and then na-adjust na natin yung mga interior angles. Next step is compute the course bearings or azimuth. Excuse me. So, dito, using the adjusted angles, kailangan nating i-compute yung bearing per line given na si DE ay south 81 degrees, 42 minutes, and 15 seconds. So, yung procedure dito is kagaya lang nung ating first example kanina. So, gawin nyo na lang na, i-try nyo na lang i-compute sa inyo para practice na rin. And then, kung similar tayo ng sagot dito, and then, okay tayo. So, kapag hindi, so, try nyo lang tingnan, i-double check yung work nyo. And then, eto na yung sagot. So, basically, yung first topic natin, eto na yung kakalabasan niya dapat. So, nagsimula lang siya kay station DE kasi yun yung given na bearing. And then, pasok tayo dito sa adjustment kasi, di ba? So, meron tayong tinatawag na latitude and departure sa bawat line. Basically, the latitude of a traverse course or the line is simply the y component of the line in a rectangular xy coordinate system. In surveying, the y-axis is usually taken as the north-south meridian axis. A latitude then may also be defined as the projection of traverse course onto the north-south axis of the survey. From the basic right angle trigonometry, it is computed as the product of the course length L and the cosine of the bearing angle B. So again, usually, kung meron tayong bawang line EF, may length siya na EF. The latitude is the y distance or y component ng ating line. And then, yun nga, ang beta natin dito is bearing ng EF. So, cosine B is latitude over length, or latitude is equal to the length multiplied by cosine, dahil nandito yung angles natin, di ba, yung ating mga bearings. So, cosine beta para dun sa latitude natin. And then, yung departure is yung x component naman. So, ganoon din. So, sine naman yung gagamitin natin sa kanya. So, length times sine theta para dito sa departure natin. So, usually, pwede rin nandito siya. Pero, again, yung latitude and departure natin is the x and y component lang nung line natin na at a certain angle. So, the sign convention of if the traverse course has a northerly bearing, its latitude will have a positive sign. Diba? Pag pa-north yung line natin, yung value ng latitude niya is positive. And then, tinatawag din siya northing of the line. So, that is the distance from one station to another at the y-axis or the positive latitude. If the course has a southerly bearing, its latitude will carry a negative sign called southing. If a line has an easterly bearing, easting naman siya. And kapag west has, syempre, westing yung tawag natin. So, using our bearing and our length, makukompute natin si latitude and departure. So, papasin nyo, nakadagdagan na yung ating columns. So, yung line natin, using our corrected bearing, di ba? Or, sorry. Ito pala yung yung bearing natin, and then ito yung length natin. Hindi pa pala ito yung corrected. So, again, yung latitude natin, let's try. That is distance multiplied by, so, cosine para sa latitude, 79 degrees, 49 minutes. So, 122, 1465076. So, sige, gawin natin 4 decimal places. Yan. And then, since, again, sabi nga doon, di ba, kapag south yung ating bearing, ibig sabihin, yung latitude natin is magkakaroon ng negative sign. Yan. Ito, southerly bearing. And then, kapag west is negative din. So, kapag west, magiging sign naman yung value natin dito. 9966. Gawin din natin 4 decimal places. So, let me just adjust these values para magkaroon ng 4 na decimal places. Ayan. So, yun yung makukompute nating latitude and departures. So, sa step 3 natin. Okay, again, that is simply the sine and cosine x and y component ng ating line. Then, para ma-determine natin yung error of closure and yung accuracy, syempre, dahil ang idea nga natin is nag-begin at nag-e-end, nagsisimula at nagtatapos sa same point, dapat yung sum nitong latitude natin, di ba? Kung nagmula tayo sa ito yung point A natin, negative 122, tumas ng 177, bababa ng 699, bababa ng 140. Dapat pag tumaas siya dito ng 756, dito rin siya babagsak dun sa ating origin. So, dapat yung summation ng total movement natin sa latitude is equal to 0. So, dapat ganoon din kay departure. Dapat equal din siya kay 0. So, kapag hindi, so, eto muna, northing should also be equal to southing. So, pero yung opposite yung sign. So, kapag inad natin yung lahat ng positive natin at inad natin lahat ng negative natin, dapat equal sila with opposite signs. Because, of course, the field measurements are not always perfect. It is unlikely that the sum of latitudes or the sum of departures will be exactly 0. And then, dun na papasok yung adjustment natin. So, compute muna natin, determine natin. So, i-add natin. So, copyhin ko to para lang ma-adjust na, para lang mas ayan. So, kapag in-add natin siya, ito yung lalabas na summation natin, summation ng latitude. Ito. So, medyo dinagdagan ko lang ng iba't ibang notations, iba't ibang references kasi ito yung nilalagay nila. So, summation ng change in the y component. So, ito yun. Change in summation ng latitude. Ito yun. And then yung iba is parang correction na kailangan, closure na kailangan gawin sa latitude C sub L is ito. And then, ganoon din naman kay departure, X, departure, and then D. So, inad ko lang to. Ito yung nakuha ko. 1.0359. Dito naman is 664. Negative 0.6642. And then, to compute for the total error of closure, or E sub C, that is the horizontal distance between the starting point A and the computed position of the point A prime. It may be determined from the following equation. So, simply, Pythagorean theorem lang. No? So, meron tayong negative 0.6, tapos may positive 1. Negative 0.6, tapos meron tong 1.03 na computation. So, ito yung CL natin, and then ito yung CD. So, ito yung hinahanap nating error of closure natin. So, di ba? Pythagorean theorem lang yan. So, square root ng squared nung dalawang sides natin to give us the distance of 1.2306 meters. So, yun yung error of closure natin. So, yun pala, may drawing pala sa baba. So, positive, and then negative, and then total error is 1.2306. So, we can also solve for the bearing ng linear error. So, additional na lang naman to. So, that is simply the tangent theta is equals to the departure over the latitude. So, opposite over adjacent para makuha yung angle na to. And then, ayan. And then, isa sa mga importante na makuha is yung relative accuracy ng traverse. P is the total traverse length or the perimeter divided by the error of closure. So, dito nakuha, ito yung total perimeter natin. Inad lang natin lahat nung length natin. Pag inad natin yan, nakukuha natin is itong 3,749.48. Divide natin sa error of closure. Makukuha natin to and then adjust natin to the nearest tens. No? So, 38, naging 40 na siya. And then for average land surveying with a vernier transit, an accuracy of about 1:3,000 is typical. An accuracy of at least 1:5,000 would be required for third order control tower surveys. For this example, we therefore consider that accuracy is acceptable and now proceed to adjust the latitudes and departures so that the traverse will close exactly. So kung ito is halimbawa nag 2,000 lang, so normally kailangan nating i-repeat yung data collection natin para mas mawala ba yung, or at least mabawasan yung malaking error. So for this example, pasok naman tayo sa 3,000. So pwede na tayong mag-adjust. We can proceed to adjusting the altitudes and departures. So yun nga, dahil hindi sakto yung position natin, meron tayong 1 meter na distance na hindi tumama yung compute, kailangan nating adjust yung course latitude and departure. Kagaya ng ginagawa natin before, di ba? Kapag sa mga angles natin, kapag masyadong malaki yung angle, sa total interior angle, binabawasan natin sila. So in this case, ganun din naman yung gagawin natin. Parang ganung concept. Ito kulang, basically, di ba? Kulang yung latitude natin ng 0.66, so dadagdagan natin siya ng 0.66. Ito naman, labis ng halos 1 meter, so dadagdagan natin sila ng 1 meter para ma-adjust natin. And then yung pag-adjust na yun, meron tayong iba't ibang method. So the simplest are the approximate procedures called the compass or the Bowditch rule and the transit rule. With the advent of numerous software packages, a method called least square adjustment can easily be applied. The least squares method is the most accurate, pero again, kailangan kasi siya ng maraming computation. So this allows the survey to weigh the control points. In other words, the surveyor can apply or apportion more or less correction to their location depending on the certainty of the specific measurement. So tayo, and then ang alam ko, ito lang naman din nawalabas sa board exam, compass rule at transit rule yung gagawin natin. So in this method, the corrections are applied to the latitudes and departure in proportion to the lengths of each of the course. So nakadepende dun sa length ng each course. So ito yung length halimbawa nung distance natin nung any course, line AB halimbawa, divided by the line, the perimeter, yung total distance natin. So kuhain natin yung ratio niya doon bago i-multiply natin dun sa ating correction. Para yun yung makukuha niya na correction dun sa course natin. So, ang basic idea dito, mas mahaba yung line natin, mas malaki dapat yung matatanggap niya na correction. Para balance ba? Parang ganun. So, the application of the compass rule changes both the latitudes and departure in such a way that both the bearings and the lengths of the courses are slightly changed. A formula for this rule may be written as follows. So, ito nga yun. So, small letter natin is yung per length or per course. And then, ito yung sa nung total latitude natin. Okay? So, C sub L, the correction to be applied to the latitude of any course. C sub D, small d, correction to the departure of any course. C, capital L, total closure. C, capital D, total closure in departure. And then D is the distance of any course. And then total capital D is the total length of the perimeter of the traverse. So, for line AB, ito yung CL natin, di ba? Negative. And then yung line, yung small letter din natin is yung ating line length ng ating line AB. So, AB divided by the perimeter times the correction. Para ma-distribute natin ng maayos yung, parang percentage natin ma-distribute yung mga correction natin. So, CL, negative 1.227. Sa CD naman, ganun pa rin, distance divided by the perimeter, pero yung multiply natin is yung correction for the departure. And then, again, record natin lahat ideally, and then, for decimal places lang yung ipakita natin. So, doing that for the entire lines natin, excuse me. Ito yung makukuha natin. Dapat kapag in-add natin yung total correction natin, so, take note nung sign natin, dapat kapag in-add natin siya, i-equal siya dun sa ating na-compute dito. Diba? Kasi nga, ang idea natin is dinistribute natin yung error na to dun sa lines natin depending sa length nila. For example, tingnan natin yung longest, 971 compared sa shortest natin. Sa 971, 0.17 yung in-adjust. And then sa 616, sa lowest natin, halos 0.11 lang yung in-adjust natin. So, naka-ratio and proportion tayo. So, ganun din kay CD, kay departure. I-add lang natin lahat. Dapat mag-i-equal yan. So, 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4. Mag-i-equal dapat sila dito sa ating correction sa departure. So, once na, ayan, equal dapat. So, once na okay na yun, para ma-adjust natin, regardless ng kailangan gawin, isusubtract natin siya palagi. Okay? So, syempre, take note nung signs natin. So, si negative 122.147 minus negative 0.1227 equals negative 122.0238. So, parang nag-add siya. So, ganun lang lagi. Gagawin natin si 17, halimbawa doon sa line BC, latitude 173.8935 minus negative 0.1094, 1740029. So, isusubtract lang natin sila lahat. And then, ganoon din kay departure. And then, dapat kapag inad natin tong lahat, magsi-zero siya. Kasi, di ba, ni-adjust na natin, ni-apply na natin yung adjustment na kailangan natin. So, kapag inad natin tong lahat, 0 dapat siya. Kapag inad natin tong lahat, 0 dapat siya. So, ibig sabihin nun, adjusted na. Bumalik na kay position A yung A prime natin. Kasi 0 na yung yung total, yung sum nitong ating latitude and departure. So, the sum of the adjusted latitude and the adjusted departure should both equal to 0. This means that our adjustments were applied correctly. Kapag hindi yan nag-0, kung may 1 dito, it's either meron kayong may na-adjust or may hindi na round off properly. Or somewhere around this calculation, may hindi kayo na round up, round down, or kung ano man, properly. So, double check natin. So, 9, 11, 28. So, ito nga parang, subtract pala to. So, anyways, kapag inad natin to, 0. Okay? Yun yung parang pan-check natin. Kapag hindi na ganito nag-0, kailangan nyo ng double check to. So, double check nyo to. So, ideally, isulat nyo talaga lahat ng lalabas na value. So, kaya medyo mahaba siya. So, yun yung compass rule. So, na-zero na natin siya, na-adjust na natin si latitude and departure. Si transit rule naman, medyo may extra na gagawin, pero halos similar naman yung gagawin niya. So, the corrections are applied to the latitudes in proportion to the lengths of the latitude and to the departures to the lengths of the departure. So, kung kanina sa line at sa kanyang perimeter, yung compass rule natin, di ba? Dito naman, sa latitude at dun sa total na distance na latitude. So, paano yun? So, this rule is best used for traverse surveys in which the angles have been measured with greater precision than the distances. So, ito is mas accurate daw na mas careful na mineasure si angles. So, mas maganda na gamitin si transit rule. It changes the latitudes and departure in such a way that the lengths of the courses are changed slightly, but the bearings remains almost the same. So, kung kanina pareho halos nagbago, dito yung lengths lang yung medyo magbabago. The formula for the transit rule can be written as follow. So, meron pa rin tayong corrections per course, meron tayong total corrections, and then ang iba lang is ito. So, meron tayong summation ng absolute value ng latitude, and then meron tayong ng latitude ng bawat course natin. So, the sum of latitudes and sum of departures without regard to the sign. So, absolute values yung i-add natin. And then yung lat and depth is the length of the particular course, latitude, or departure. So, for example, for line AB, no? So, ito yung kailangan natin kuhain. Si CL, yung pa rin nakuha natin sa ating previous step, 0.6642. And then, yung summation nung absolute value ng latitude is i-add lang natin to without their sign. So, kung ano lang yung total distance traveled, kumbaga, in latitude or in y-axis or y component natin. So, inad lang natin yon lahat. Then, multiplied by the concerned course natin since line AB, ito yung latitude ni line AB. Diba? Yung whole value lang din. And then, since negative to, multiply lang natin, magne-negative din, and then, ibig sabihin, ito yung i-adjust natin kay line, sa latitude ni line AB. And then, complete lang din natin kay departure ng line AB. So, ito yung nakuha natin sa previous step. I-add natin yung absolute values ng ating departure multiplied by the departure nung line na concern natin, which will give us, in this case, 0.2770. So, applying the entire procedure sa ating given, ito yung lalabas sa atin. And then, yun lang naman yung nabago. And then, the same as the compass rule, dapat same yung makukuha nating sum nito, equal dapat sa sum nito sa kabila. Okay? Kasi diba, i-distribute nga natin yung summation or yung errors natin. Similar dito kay departure. So, once na meron na tayo nun, kagaya nung compass rule, isusubtract lang ulit natin siya. So, latitude minus correction sa latitude equals adjusted latitude. And then, again, similar to compass rule, i-add natin to, it must be equal to 0. I-add natin si departure, it must be equal to 0. And then, as same, this means that our adjustments, kapag 0, were applied correctly. And then, once na meron na tayong adjusted latitude and departure, ibabalik na natin siya sa corrected length and bearing, yung ating kinakailangan sa step number 6, yung last step natin. So, ano lang naman yun, Pythagorean theorem tsaka yung tangent natin, yung kagaya nung kanina, nung pag-compute ng length and bearing nung ating error of closure. So, ganun din lang naman yun. So, for line AV, we have itong corrected natin, latitude, squared, plus corrected departure, 2736, squared. So, ang corrected length ng AB natin is 6910467 meter. For the corrected bearing, arctangent, departure over latitude, so 680.122, 79.82949, or south 79 degrees, 49 minutes, and 46 seconds. So, ito na yung summary. So, kapag ginawa natin to sa lahat ng lines natin, makikita natin yung summary dito. No. So, ito yung summary. Makikita nyo. So, si bearing, so, hindi pa natin makikita yung ano. So, idadagdag ko yung ano, yung original data. Para makita ko, compare natin yung epekto ni compass rule at ni transit rule dun sa length and bearing natin. So, ito yung lumabas sa calculations natin. And then, yun yung gagamitin natin para dun sa susunod na steps na nabanggit kanina for area, for computation ng mga omitted measurements, etc. or pati yung mga division of lot. So, yun ay sa next step. So, ito, pakisagutan, compute for the adjusted length and adjusted bearing, kagaya nito, of the following traverse. Dalawa rin yung gagamitin, compass rule at transit rule. So, siyempre, separate din siya gagawin. So, ito naman yung ating given. Line natin, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, and F, A with the distances and the bearing. So, medyo mahaba yung bearing natin. Medyo accurate yung measure. So, yun. So, ito is papayagan, pwede kayong, may recommend ko na ano, make an Excel. Siguro, kaya nasa inyo na naman siya, pero pwede siyang itry sa Excel kung kaya, kung medyo ano kayo sa knowledgeable sa Excel, kasi mas ano ba siya, kasi sobrang repetitive kasi ng mga calculations dito. So dun maganda si Excel. So let me show you. So for this example, ito yon. So yung line ko, yung bearing, hinati ko lang siya para maging ganyan. And then, ito yung length ng lines natin. And then, nag-formulas na lang ako dito. Ayan. And then, yung compass rule, then yung adjusted. Transit rule, and then adjusted. And then, ayan. Ito yung summary nung nandun. So, suggestion lang naman yan. Or, kung gusto nyo rin is, pero ang final output nito is handwritten dapat. Sa C paper or sa A4 calculations. So, pwede nyo gawin is, kagaya ng ginagawa ko dito, isang line lang yung pinapakita ko, and then once na napakita ko yung procedure, yung summary na nung solution. Okay? So, para lang mapakita natin na alam natin yung ginagawa natin per step. And then, pakita natin yung summary ng calculations natin. Okay? So, ayun lang. So, yung next nito is computation using yung area natin. Area of traverse. So, ito pa rin yun. Basically, madadagdagan lang to ng iba pang mga columns hanggang dun sa dulo. So, yun lang. Thank you.